Hey, it's Craig with Remax, and here we are going live. I'm going to keep my glasses on in case any comments pop up. I want to be able to answer them. And before we get started, and while people are logging on, I just want to remind you, if you're watching this as a replay, if you're, sorry, let me back up and say, if you're considering making a move, you're thinking about it, or you have a friend or family member who's thinking about making a move sometime soon, and they've got some questions or they just want to connect and kind of figure out the process, you can connect with me on my website that I set up called connectwithcraig.com. It's not a fancy website. It's just taking down a little bit of information where we can go ahead and reach out and have a quick phone call and get those questions answered. There's no obligation if you're filling out your information. If you don't want to be contacted again after that first call, that's fine. Just let me know. No harm, no foul, and we'll make it really easy for you, but still get your questions answered. I'm not some super, tactical sales guy. I'm really, you'll find out if you watch more of these videos and get to know me. I like to be helpful, and so that's what I'll do. All right, so let's get started. What I was going to talk about is the little known, very little talked about way to get money back into your paycheck. And in fact, the reason this popped into my head is because I'm working with some past clients. They came back to me and said, hey, we want to make a move. And it just came up in conversation. By the way, I don't get into my clients' financial, things, and I don't look at their income or any of that stuff. I leave that up to the lenders. But this just happened to come up in conversation. They mentioned that they typically get about $11,000 back in their taxes when they file taxes every year. Part of that is because of course, their tax write-off for owning a primary residence. By the way, everything I'm going to talk about is just other experiences or things that I know, but it is not tax advice. It's not investing advice. So please don't take it that way. All right, on to the real stuff. Okay, so what they had mentioned to me was that they get about $11,000 back every year in taxes. And that's because they don't claim any dependents or anything like that. Or actually, I don't even know what they claim. But obviously, they don't claim as much as they can because they get such a big lump sum at the end of the tax year. And so that got me thinking, it's just not taught a whole lot that you can actually get that money every single month. Could you imagine with these guys, they could get over $800 every month back in their paycheck? How much would $800 offset your housing bill? I mean, it's incredible, and people don't know that they can actually get that. So one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this is because if you knew that, it might actually make a difference in the way that you file taxes, but also if you're looking at buying a house and you're wondering how you can make this thing come together because you're maybe a little short every month on funds, well, that might be the way to do it. And maybe you won't have $8,000 or $800 a month that you could realize back in your paycheck, but what if you had 3 or 4? I mean, would that really make a difference? It probably would. For most people, it would get them into the house that they're trying to get into, or at least, get them to a place where they could actually see that maybe making a move is, owning a house is something that they could do. These guys, by the way, are not high earners. I mean, he's not, a low earner by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not, he's not a CEO. He's not making $500,000 a year. He's making a very average living, for folks here in California. So it's not like, he's got like this huge, they don't have a big multi-million-dollar house that helps them with these taxes or anything like that. This is a normal everyday guy and family. And they're able to, for these guys, it works for them to collect that money at the end of the year. But if it were me, I'd want to make that money work for me throughout the year, whether it would be to offset the payment on my house or money that I could invest in other investments, or I mean, just money that I could use and go out and have a fun dinner every now and then. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about is just letting you know, if you didn't already know, that there's such a great tax benefit to owning a home. And actually the IRS even has a little calculator on their website. Of course, they're not going to help you calculate all the money that you can get because they like to use your money. I mean, what the IRS is doing with my friend's tax refund is they're actually taking that money every month and they're using it on a budget. And I don't know if the IRS invests in anything or not. I'm sure of course they do. But so the feds are using that money as an investment rather than, my friend and past client. So why shouldn't you get the advantage? It's there. They allow it. They even have a calculator to help you figure out how much to get. By the way, I'm looking around. I'm doing this up in my master bedroom retreat. I've got a good sized house here, but every room is like open, and we've got people in and out, and I've got an office downstairs that's got one wall that's open and there's no door. It works for us, it's great, but it's not a great office. So I'm doing this here. Sorry if it looks a little janky. Anyway, I guess that's it. It's there's so much benefit that you can get from owning a house, and one of the benefits is, of course, this tax benefit that you could realize every single month to offset all kinds of different things, whether it's your house payment or something else. By the way, I run into people all the time that are renting these little 1,100 square foot apartments for $2,500 a month. Could you imagine if first of all, that money is gone. You want to talk about the interest rates? I hear people say all the time, interest rates are so high right now. That when you're renting, it's 100% interest gone because you write that check every single month and you give that to the landlord, and you have no tax advantage, and you have there's no equity buildup from paying down your payment, and there's no equity appreciation from the market moving up. Corona saw a 10% increase last year. Some people say 8, some people say 10, but either way, an 8% increase. For easy math, if you had a $500,000 house, you just made $50,000. That's really easy math. Do the math on any purchase price, any value of the home. At the end of the year, you now have that money that you could actually tap into. Whereas if you're renting, that money's gone. You'll never, ever, ever see it again. And I know a lot of people are concerned that perhaps the market's going to dip a little bit. And we've seen it dip, but it always does this time of year. But even if it does, you hold on to it long enough, and that house is going to come back in value and even far exceed where it was before. We look back on 100 years of real estate trends, and we'll see that housing has doubled about every 10 years, with this last market being the exception. And that math plays out. I've done it over a 50-year term. I haven't gone back 100 years, but my goodness, my aunt and uncle bought a house for $38,500, and it's worth about $725 or $750 right now. So that appreciation over time is phenomenal, and you hold on to it long enough, you'll even outperform, even if we have these dips in the market. So, excuse me. So back to what I was talking about. That's not even considering the tax advantage. So that's just looking at appreciation. So with the tax advantage, you can still take that cut every single month. Could you imagine if you're paying $2,500 a month in rent, and let's say you could realize another $500 out of your paycheck every month? You could get into a house with a $3,000 a month payment, and it won't affect your monthly budget and your way of living. It won't change one bit. However, what will change is that you're now gaining equity. And again, you've got that tax write-off and equity appreciation, equity through appreciation and equity through payoff. All right, so I think I'm going to be going in circles if I keep on talking. And hey, I appreciate you spending the time with me. Remember, if you want to connect or you have some questions, maybe you even want to look at how your specific scenario might play out. Again, I'm not a tax professional, but I can certainly answer some questions and put you down the right path to see what the scenario might look like for you and how much money you could realize back in your paycheck. Go ahead and reach out to me through my website. You can comment on this post. Please do. In fact, Facebook loves it when people comment on posts. Like it. And if you know somebody who's considering making a move, they're considering purchasing a home, especially then, and you think that this might be good information for them, please share it with them. But you can also connect with me on my website, which is called connectwithcraig.com. I look forward to talking to you soon. Hey, in fact, I think I'm going to do these every Tuesday at noon. You've heard of TED Talks, right? I'm going to call these Craig Talk Tuesdays. So we'll see you at noon next Tuesday and answer any questions that you have then. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you even watching this. It's not just flattering, but I really appreciate the time that you guys take, and it shows me that at least I'm providing some value out there, and I hope to provide more. If you want to know about a specific topic, you can reach out to me directly or through this post and tell me what you want me to talk about. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the week. Take care.